Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Okay, it's just I was being muted and it took a while to come through.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to, before I start, Richard, I'd like to thank you for your mention of Dame Kath Tizard, who was the mayor at the time that I was working on the Aotea Centre drawings, so knew Dame Kath really well. She's certainly be missed. And I also sent to the board that my supporter, Jane Houghton, who would often come and sing Waitemata, has also passed. And I just want to remind people of her singing of You Are My Sunshine, and just have a thought of You Are My Sunshine for Jane, if you could, please. Thank you. And before I start, I'd also like to say that I'd like to use the full 5 minutes of the public forum rather than the question time for members at the end. The pattern has been that they don't generally ask questions, so I'll just use the full length of time. And I can also... Would you
prefer, Gael? We'll ring the bell at 4.5 minutes, so you'll...
Thank you. That's very helpful. And I've also noticed that you've got in the draft here the thank you part, but it doesn't talk about my attachment, which has been sent to you. Okay, so if that could be corrected, and then I'll start.
We haven't been receiving attachments today.
I sent the attachment through yesterday.
Yes, I know that, and we've got others before, but today we're tending not to do that. So go ahead, Gael. You'll certainly keep your document. Your document will...
Could you clarify for that? Sorry, Richard. So is my document going to be attached?
That's not my intention, no. With earlier ones, so just go ahead, and we'll keep the document, and all the members have read it, so that's all.
So the standing orders haven't actually changed yet. They may do later in the meeting, but can I ask why the attachments aren't going to be attached, since there isn't a rule that says that they can't be?
It's at the discretion of the board what we accept and what's needed for future decisions. We'll make a decision on the matter that you got about standing orders, which I think you'll be happy with.
Oh, okay. So I'm really glad to hear that you think I'll be happy with the response. So, okay, so I'll start. The Lagorma process already protects information and redacts out unsuitable information as specified under the Act. To involve the chair in making these determinations is double handling. Look, Lagorma, could whoever's shuffling turn their microphone off, please? It's very difficult for me to present on a mobile phone. So the Lagorma team, the Lagorma team, as a specialist in understanding the Act, leave the experts to their expertise. Therefore, on behalf of the community for whom I am an advocate, I support option 1, the extension of public forum to 5 minutes with 2 minutes for questions for those members who are actively listening, with the chair using his discretion to extend the time further. I have in my presentation that I've sent, could you put up the first image, please, which is your points 7 and 8. 2.8, I asked the board to consider, why does the information now have to be agreed to be received? How are all public to know that this is to ask for this when they are presenting? Isn't the intention to make this process easier for the public? Who might it cause harm? Waitemata local board members for not upholding their motion? That's the only harm that the attachments that I've had in the past have been withdrawn for. What improper gain / advantage / damage would these attachments that I have previously put to the board, what gain, advantage or damage? The only thing is the accountability of the Waitemata local board themselves for you members in your political careers. I also ask, how is the decision not to publish a decision not to withhold information? Where will this information be? How will the public legorma this information? So I would like to point out that, as I pointed out in the Ponsonby News article in the November issue, these are the items removed from the minutes of the last meeting by the Chair. 1, a page from the resource consent of the Western Springs Forest, which said within 3 months of pine removal being completed, the access track, culverts, landing/chipping area shall be disestablished and the area returned to the same general topographical formation as existed prior to the works being undertaken. This is part of the public record as a resource consent document stamped by the Environment Court. Why wouldn't that be included? And the second is an email from Auckland Council Community Facilities ensuring that intention is to remove all chip material from the site. However, a small residual may be left in situ. This is available by a legorma request. This would probably be redacted with the name being blacked out, not by blocking the whole document. And I've included in my email the document itself with it redacted so that it can be included. 3, a letter confirming that Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei will continue to not oppose the felling of the trees, but will request the Council to keep us involved in the restoration plan and the annual reviews to ensure the best environmental and cultural outcomes achieved moving forward. This was the result of a legorma request, and there's no reason that it should be withheld from any attachment. 4 is a letter stating the supply of plants, and that was actually a legorma request, and those plants were from Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, contrary to the previous comments that have been made by Ngāti Whātua. And number 5 is my article from the Ponsonby News on No Excuse for Abuse, describing the treatment by Auckland staff. This is publicly available in the Free magazine. Therefore, the time goes past very fast. There is no excuse for abuse to or from Auckland Council staff and officials. I suggest that you vote in your options for number 1, and I've also included in my attachments when I shared the Ponsonby News article on Facebook that the Mayor Phil Goff came in and liked the post where I was commenting on how bad censorship was of the minutes, and I've also included an email from Trina Thompson, your manager, saying that the changes to the standing orders would be discussed in a workshop in the new year with Keith McConnell and myself. And I suggest that any changes that are made to the standing orders should occur in one fell swoop once that workshop has taken place. I'm now finished. Hello? Hello?
Gail, we can hear you. Chair, are you there?
Thank you, Alex.
Sorry, Gail. Maybe Richard has cut out. I know that you wanted to use your 4 minutes.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm here. Yep.
You're back. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. No,
so did you hear my last sentence, which was covered over by a bell?
Yep.
Where I said I highly recommend any changes occur within one foul swoop once the workshop has taken place.
Yeah, thanks for your views. Okay, so you said you didn't need any questions, but is there a member?
Well, I only said that because there's
that's fine. No, I'm just checking, whether there any member who wants to ask a question. If not, I'll move the Waitemata Local Board. Thank